Hello everyone, welcome to AdiTrade. Today we're going to be seeing the Nifty and Banknifty levels for Monday, 22nd August. 22nd. This is the daily chart of Banknifty that I've opened. See, this price action that happened on Friday is a good example of how things can quickly change in the market. The kind of bullish run that we had, right? Even I had a bullish view for Friday, but in just this one candle, we have got a nice bearish engulfing candle. Now we'll be seeing in this video, we will be seeing the possible trades that we could have taken on Friday, how we could have analyzed and how I analyzed that we could get a further dip, and what are the possible levels, intraday levels that will hold good for Monday. These are the things that we're going to see in the video. Firstly, on the daily chart, we have got a nice big bearish red candle. It's like a bearish engulf. See, this price action, if I expand the daily chart, we have kind of engulfed 3 days of price action. Almost 3.5 days of price action is kind of engulfed in one day. So this is a nice big bearish red candle. Probably we could head into some kind of a correction, and this is coming again at a pretty good resistance level itself. See, previously all this time I was looking at this level can act as a good resistance, that is 39,400, but we have come all the way until 39,700, and this is where at about 40,000 even previously we got some sell off. So see, we cannot just ignore this big bearish red candle, right? This is not coming at any time, it's not coming anywhere at the bottom. It's coming after a nice big bull run of almost 5,000 or 6,000 points. Bank Nifty has moved higher, and then we are getting this. So there are chances based on this price action we could slip further. Those levels we will see on our intraday chart. Now, before we see the levels for Monday, we'll just see what happened on Friday and how we could have taken a trade. It was a pretty easy day. Anybody who's into trading or scalping would have made some money here, and we'll just analyze how we were able to take a short trade. Now, see, for Friday, I had this trend line, and this was mentioned on my video where I made the analysis video for Friday. This white trend line, right? I've just changed the coloring and the format in my trading view. Before I had a white screen, now just I have this dark mode. And I also had a view that if we come closer to this trend line, I will buy. I was ready to buy at 39,500, right? That's what even I said in my previous video. But what made my view change on Friday morning is the OI data. Now this is our Cosmofeed group where I just post the analysis. I've just restarted this, and I'll be posting the live technical analysis on any good day or any day that where I see something is good to be posted. Now the first thing was this. We were like this on Friday, and this was posted at around 10:52, right? Around 10:50 I posted this, that we are consolidating in the CPR. If the CPR and this black trend line breaks, right, we could get a dip. And my view was we might get a dip until 39,300 because we had a strong support here. I'll be showing that on the chart. And if you just look at this was the OI screenshot of the OI data at about 11:53. See, though we had a good support at 39,500, there was a very good resistance on the upper side, right? And on the lower side, the only support was at 39,000. See the kind of OI buildup that was there. This indicated that the up move could be restricted, and we will have a lot of resistance on the upside. Sorry. Now one thing is, now if you see the call, the blue is calls OI, and the pink, the red is puts OI. If you see the calls OI and compared, forget about the 39,500, the other strike prices I'm telling on the put side and the call side. The calls were literally double of the puts. So there was some good resistance on the upper side, and on the lower side the only support that was there was 39,000. But at 39,500 also there was a good support. This had to break. So that's the reason we were waiting, and that break was exactly even there on the charts. Like within the CPR we were around 39,500. So if this had broken, right, even on a 5-minute chart, so I did expect a dip, and we ended up getting a much bigger dip than I expected. Now the dip that I expected on Friday, I thought we would get a dip at least until here. This was the first level because there was some support, that is 39,300, and the second level was this, that is this area around the blue, what I'm marking right now, that is around 39,100 or 200. We did get a little bit of extended dip, and that's the same pretty much what I'd marked even in our marking, what I'd shown on that day. So we did end up getting a dip, nice dip all the way until 38,860 was the lowest level that we saw. Now how we can trade this on Monday? Okay, now no doubt this is a nice good sell-off that we had. Probably we could head into some correction. See, after almost, we'll literally count off how much, almost after 7,400 points in Banknifty from the recent low, we have got a nice big bearish candle, right? So even if we retrace to the 23% or the 33%, it is still an healthy retracement, right? There's nothing, it's not that the market has turned bearish, it is just a small retracement can come, which is good for the market. If you keep going high like this, right, some retracement, we need some retracement again to go higher, right? So that's one retracement which could happen. Now what are the levels that we can see for Monday is, the first thing that I look for on Monday is if we kind of form this type of a pattern, like an A, B, C, D and an E and a breakdown. But looks like, because the US market also closed a little bit in the red, and we could get a 200-300 point gap down in Bank Nifty, right? So my first target on the downside is filling this gap, this blue area that you see here. This is the gap up that we had. So my first level target on the downside is 38,400. Probably we can come fill this gap before going higher or getting a bounce. And below that, the next level of support is here, that is 38,200. Now since we are getting a huge gap up, right, I'll just make use of the CPR as well. Now these are the daily CPRs that I have. CPR S1, S2 is the green. Now say if the US futures even on Monday morning open in red, and we get a gap down itself in this area, somewhere close to 38,600 or something, then probably I'll look to buy a call, a retracement until this gap fill, that is 38,600, or probably a retracement even until this 38,800. Right? Because if we get a huge gap down, I don't think we will get a further huge sell-off. In case we get a pretty flat opening, right? Say we gap down somewhere in this region, that is 38,800 or 38,700, then there's a good chance we might come and fill this gap on Monday. So that will be my first possibility. The target is 38,400, and then the next target is around 38,288. And if we end up getting a huge gap down, then most likely we'll have a no trading day, because if we get a huge gap down, we might end up remaining sideways. So the only trade that we can do is sell options. Otherwise, if anybody's into buying options, we can just stay out of the trade. Even futures is something that we can scalp with if we get a huge gap down. If we get a pretty flat opening, yeah, I think we will get a good move on the downside with these levels as the target, 38,400 and 38,200, the first targets. Now say this is just a one-day intraday profit booking. The market has been bullish all this time, and if we continue to go higher, right, where I would buy a call is if this red resistance zone that I've marked, if this zone breaks, yeah, probably I would buy a call with the first target being around 39,300, and the second target is over here, 39,500. If this level breaks, then yeah, I might think of going long. And a break of this level with an RSI above 60 is what I'll wait for, because if the trend is see, we had this nice downtrend, right, on this 15-minute time frame. So if you're going against the trend, always take support of RSI. If RSI is above 60 on a 15-minute time frame, that's when we get that kind of a good momentum on the upside. So this will be my plan for Nifty, Bank Nifty on Monday. That is, see, we are getting a gap down for sure. How much gap down, we'll have to see on Monday. If you get a big gap down, stay out of a trade. A small gap down, wait for some retracement, a nice bearish candle short until 38,350 or 400. And if the market continues to go up by above this level, that is 39,240, with first target being somewhere close to 39,500. Now the other thing that I want to show in Bank Nifty is, in my previous video I even spoke about the EMAs, right? Like how we were taking support of the blue line. The first red line is the 20 EMA, this is 50, and the white line now is the 100 EMA, and the pink line is 200 EMA. Obviously coloring is one's choice. So we were taking a good support of this EMA, 50 EMA and the 20 EMA, and moving higher. On Friday we kind of got that crossover. So and also one more thing is, at the 200 EMA on 15 minute we have taken support, right? So the next trade, if we trade, we might start trading below 200 EMA. So in case we get a gap down, right, wait for a pullback, probably a retest of this 200 EMA, and then probably we can short for the intraday levels. That would be something that I'll be waiting for. And on the 5-minute chart, now this is a 5-minute chart with all the EMAs. Okay, now say we get a pretty huge gap down somewhere close to here, 39,600 or 500. Now we have the 20 MA here, the red line, right? Wait for the 20 MA to come a little bit down. The price will go and retest the 20 MA. Then if we get a nice big bearish candle, or like an evening star, whatever, the bearish chart pattern or a candle, then we can think of shorting. So this is my plan for Bank Nifty. Now just look at the Nifty levels. In Nifty, even in Nifty, we have had a nice big bearish engulf. This is kind of engulfing almost 3.5 days of price action. 3.5 days of green candle that we went up, right, was just sold in one day. That's why I always look to trade on the put side whenever the market is falling. It kind of gives us better profits. Now looking at Nifty for our intraday levels, let me just turn off this CPR. See, this level, that there was a gap over here which got beautifully filled on Friday. I was not expecting such a big fall. My first target when Nifty started falling, right, was this blue line that I've marked. Okay, I was kind of expecting we might get a dip until 17,860, and when that broke, my viewers probably will fill this gap. There was a beautiful gap here. See, when we mark such gaps and keep, right, the Nifty came, filled this gap, just made one wick and bounced. So this was a nice place to book profits. Those who shorted probably early in the morning, if definitely they would have booked profits. A lot of people would have booked profits at this gap. That's why we get this bounce, right? So that's one way how we can find support and resistance using gaps. And now for levels for Monday, I'm going to remove this gap because it's already tested. Now see, over here we have another gap that needs to be pending, that is 17,540. We'll have to see whether we are going so low. Before that, the next target on the downside is this 17,660. If this breaks, then probably we might come all the way until 17,596 and probably fill this gap at 17,540. Now say if like how I showed this gap example for Friday, if we get a nice good down move on Monday, and if we come to this level 17,450, do not expect the market to break this also. In case we come here, this is a place where we can book some profits based on the gap theory and what we follow for trading. Or see, always the gaps can act as a boundary. Either the gap boundary, that is this, we can even take support over here at 17,600. If we break this, then we will take support over here at 17,540. So these are the levels that I will look forward for Nifty on Monday. I can even put one nice support line over here. Yeah, this is a nice support line over here. And again for Nifty, I'm going to bring this line a bit lower. Again for Nifty, in case the market remains bullish, right, probably a good place to buy is only if this breaks, that is 17,820 breaks. Probably we can buy with the first target as 17,960. And a lot of people, including me, kind of expected that on Friday Nifty will make 18,000, but on the spot chart we missed 18,000 by 7 points. We came all the way until 17,993, and then the dip started. So that's how the market is. Like, the view can just change overnight. And another thing that was pretty odd in both Nifty and Bank Nifty was the SGX Nifty on Friday was indicating a gap down, but we ended up getting a small gap up. It's obviously it's not a bearish sign, but that itself showed that there is something odd, because that doesn't happen usually, right? Whenever we see SGX Nifty red in the morning, we will get a gap down unless there is some news associated with our market, or if we see SGX Nifty in green, we get a gap up. But SGX Nifty was in slight red, but we ended up getting a small gap up, and then a nice good sell-off pressure came. I'm going to get rid of this line as well. So these are the levels that I have for Nifty and Bank Nifty for Monday. I do feel this bearishness will continue. If we get a flat opening, if we get a huge opening, then a huge gap down, then probably we'll just have to wait for a better day to trade. And thank you for watching.